And we are back, and we just finished watching 1983's classic, A Christmas Story, rated PG with a runtime of 1 hour and 33 minutes. This is currently playing on HBO Max and was a perennial favorite, I believe, on TBS or TNT, right? For many years.
They would do, I think, even
marathons.
Like maybe up until last year or 2 years ago, they would have 24 hours of A
Christmas Story
on both channels, TNT
at the same time,
and TBS simultaneously.
Yeah. Well, I think it's gotten dethroned by Elf.
Now it's Elf.
Yes. Which they're going to play until I hate the movie.
Yeah.
I think that this follows the tradition of good storytelling with the backdrop of Christmas as a story. I guess you could include like It's a Wonderful Life, which also got played ad nauseum.
Oh God, yeah.
And then A Christmas Story, and now I guess Elf. In this story, we are introduced to Ralphie, played by Peter Billingsley, who dreams about getting a Red Ryder
BB gun.
Is it something else? Red Ryder or something?
It's a BB
It had a long name.
It had a long name.
Red Ryder Bolt Action
200
shot BB gun with a compass in the stock and a thing that tells time.
That thing was kitted out for 1940.
Yeah.
This is a period, I guess, story.
Yeah.
It takes place in the 40s. We're introduced to Ralphie's parents.
It's Illinois or Indiana?
Indiana, I believe. Yes. His mother is played by Melinda Dillon, and his dad is played by Darren McGavin. And then his little brother is played by
Randy
Ian Petrella. And this is narrated by Gene Shepard, who also wrote the novel In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash. The screenplay is also attributed to Leigh Brown, Bob Clark, and is directed by Bob Clark. This is one of those kind of like all-American nostalgia, feel-good type of movies. It's a very simple story. This child is pining for this BB gun. It's all he wants.
And
all he thinks about.
He tries to lay down the bed of hints for his parents to get the idea, and when he gets asked by his mom, the first thing out of her mouth is, "You'll shoot your eye out."
Yes.
And that's just like the death knell for him. He hears it from his mom. He hears it from his teacher. He hears it from Santa himself. And he just thinks, I'm never going to get this damn thing.
And it's funny how that weaves through the story. You'll shoot your eye out. Like the teacher says it. Santa says it. The store Santa says it. And it very much harkens back, I think, to kind of like a feel for a different time where you kind of had...
Well, back then it was like you'd get your kids BB guns and pellet guns back then. My dad,
without any kind of...
And nowadays you couldn't do that. Now.
Yeah, no.
I mean, you can, but your child has a good chance of getting shot because somebody's not going to have a BB gun. They're going to have the real thing.
Right. And that thing looked really...
Well, back then they were going for authenticity as far as the way things looked. They didn't put like a big orange cap on it to let you know that it was a toy or color it in day glow colors.
Yeah.
Toy guns looked like guns back then.
Yeah.
Hell, they looked like that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I remember running around Marine Park with a water gun that looked like an Uzi. There wasn't any special colors on it. It was just a straight up Uzi.
Yeah, it's interesting how, I mean, we've had this conversation about how, not that our parents didn't care about us, but there was definitely, I mean, I feel like it's interesting, right? The dynamics. Like, I think that there were certain things that our parents were very strict about, and then there was stuff that they just didn't care. Like, we didn't have car seats. When we were born, we weren't put into a car seat.
In the back seat.
Yeah. No one really said anything about seat belting us, and we're very cautious about making sure that our kids are seat belted and all that other stuff, right? So it's but at the same time, like I think I've told you the story. Like my dad wouldn't let me watch Miami Vice because he thought it was over the top. Meanwhile, when I was a kid, they were taking me to see like Prom Night with topless Jamie Lee and Death Wish with Charles Bronson in the theater. So it's like, I don't understand you people. But anyway, I guess reining it back. Sorry, that was a crazy tangent. I'm going to go around the table and get impressions. I believe my children have seen this movie prior to our whole watching it today, but
I don't know
in
if they've
bits
seen
and
the whole
pieces.
thing in one go.
I think
they've seen
I think
chunks
they've
of it.
seen chunks of it, but I think this is the first time we're watching it full. Olive G, I'm going to start with you. What did you think of this film?
I thought it was good.
Yeah, what did you like about it?
I don't know.
Did you like the way the guy narrated it? Did you like the adventures that Ralphie would get in? How his friends would suffer? How he
Everyone
suffered?
suffers.
How did he suffer?
How did he suffer? He was
being
crying.
bullied all
he was
the
being
time.
bullied by Scott Farkas the whole time.
Yeah.
But he beat
His
Scott Farkas Fart Man up.
He did eventually, but that was because he had like snapped by
Yeah.
that point. You
At
know.
that point, yeah. He also loses his dignity by having to wear Aunt Clara's
Yeah.
gifts.
He has to
Would
wear
you
the-
want a big bunny suit like that?
I thought it looked nice.
I'm sure you could get away with it, but I'm sure a boy in the 1940s didn't want
Yeah.
to wear a big pink bunny
9-year-old
suit.
boy was not
Yeah.
interested in the big pink bunny suit.
Boys can like pink.
No, they can absolutely, but I'm just
And
saying
they can
in the
like bunnies.
I'm saying in the 1940s, I doubt little boys were into pink or bunnies.
No.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they were. Maybe there's one kid out there that was into pink and like bunnies.
Well, you know what? I'm sure there were, but I'm sure they were very far and few between.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite character in this film, Olive G?
I don't know.
No?
I guess main character.
Ralphie?
Ralphie?
Okay. He was fun.
What was the description? Remember to drink your.
Remember
be sure to drink your Ovaltine.
He was so mad.
So ticked off, yeah.
Ovaltine.
Did you have a favorite scene in the film?
Not really, but I did like. I thought the scene that was funny is when the dogs just came into the house like burglars, and they just destroyed the
turkey.
and like they were just scraps of it. How did they do that so fast?
Dogs are quick.
Dogs are quick. They ain't
Yeah,
messing around.
yeah, they're not messing around, especially when there's cooked meat involved.
It's a pack of giant hound dogs.
What about cats? I mean, I don't care.
Oh, I doubt they're traveling in packs like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and they didn't bust into this kid's house.
That's true. But that's because they left the back door open or something.
That's true. That's true. Gigi, what did you think of the film?
It was good.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite scene?
My favorite scene was when he lies about hearing the curse word from his friend, and then you can hear his mom beating the crap out of him on the phone.
Schwartz. Oh, God. Poor Schwartz.
Yeah.
He probably have no idea why he was getting a
He
pounded.
was getting his.
That's terrible. That's got to be like bad karma all around. These kids, boy, they had no compunction about throwing his shit onto the bus.
At least he didn't do it to Flip.
Yeah.
I mean, or Flick, because Flick
was
took
just
a hell of a lot of abuse in that movie.
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did. Did you have a favorite character, G?
I don't know. I guess probably Ralphie too.
Yeah. Did you like the way that it was narrated by adult Ralphie?
Yeah, that was funny to listen to it.
Yeah, yeah. And he had like a really great voice.
He had a great voice.
The actual author, Gene Shepard, is actually the narrator for this.
Yeah, and I love the vocabulary he would be using to describe stuff.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That was pretty great too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I had never heard that phrase when I was younger. I had never heard that phrase of describing someone you're excited in my mania. I use that a lot. You know? So I'm just like I love that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a lot of it is very set. I mean, the grammar and stuff is used. I mean, obviously he was an older writer, and I'm not sure when the
he was
actual
an older
book
writer, but it
came out. But
he wasn't like speaking like
Old English
or
No,
anything.
true.
It was just he had a very expansive and descriptive vocabulary.
Yeah.
And you don't really get a lot of that in movies because a lot of movies don't really use a narrator.
Sure.
Especially a narrator who's basically reading from a memoir.
Mm-hmm.
So they usually sort of like trim it down. But it really lent to the comedy as far as I'm concerned. Just describing these things in these grandiose terms.
Yeah.
that a little kid would not be able to use, but they would if they could.
Yes,
Because
yes.
seriously, the Red Ryder BB gun was like the holy
Grail of toys, yeah.
It was like he dreamed of it like it was a religious man dreaming of Christ.
Yeah. It was
that
a
was,
quest.
That was how important this
thing was.
damn gun was.
Yeah. And he really thought like I'm gonna con my mom. I'm gonna convince the teacher, and like everything failed. Even one of my favorite scenes is Santa pushing him with his boot down the slide and saying, "You'll shoot your eye out." Yes. So yes, I mean this is very much steeped in a sense of nostalgia. It's such a I feel like it's okay. So
it's like a Norman Rockwell.
It's sort of like
a movie.
Movie. Yes. However, okay. Well, actually, before I make my commentary, I want to ask you, what did you think? I'm sure you've seen this millions of times.
I saw this film when it came out.
Yes, I saw this movie when it came out. I enjoyed it too.
With my dad and my sister, we went to go get the tree, but before we got the tree, we went to the theater and we saw. It was like a triple feature.
Wow.
Basically, it was a triple feature because we just went from theater to theater without paying for the other movies. We saw Christmas Story. We saw Fire and Ice, the Ralph Bakshi cartoon.
Oh, wow.
And parts in between Ralph Bakshi, we waited in another theater where we saw like the 7 Gates of Hell by some Italian director.
Wow. That's a full day.
I didn't understand what was going on in that movie, but it was
You were like 9, right?
I was a little kid. It was what, 83 when this came out?
Yeah.
So I had just turned 10, I think.
Okay. So I must have been 11. Yeah. So I mean, and I thought this film was hilarious, and every time I've seen it, I still think it's funny. It's definitely aged well. It's a good movie. It's a quality Christmas film. It deserves its seat in the pantheon of Christmas classics. Movies. Question for you. Okay, so this is the commentary I was going to make. So up until the end, where they're at the bowling chop suey restaurant, I can see why I can see why people may find that end sequence a little problematic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I never had a problem with that sequence. Of course, I don't live in those shoes, so I can't opine in that sense. However, I have had conversations with people I know who do find that scene somewhat offensive. And I'm not making excuses, but I think from the lens of the storyteller, from the story, from the book, this is something that happened, or it might be an embellishment of something that happened. Because, like you said, I think it's a memoir, right? So this is something that happened to him that he experienced, but I don't feel like it was malicious or it wasn't degrading. It wasn't trying to make fun of anybody. It was just, this happened to us. We were set to have our Christmas dinner. The neighbor's pack of hounds came and destroyed that. We went to have Chinese food, and the Chinese restaurant employees, in order to make us feel more Christmassy, started singing Christmas songs to us.
Yeah. For me, when people get upset about stuff like that, like humor like that, where it's just sort of, you have people who are not used to an accent reacting to that accent. And basically the joke was that because they have that accent, they can't pronounce the word L.
Right. They don't. Yeah. So
they swap L's with R's.
Right.
And okay, is that not real? No, it is. You're saying that you can't show somebody with an accent.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that always aggravated me. Like with when they were making this Mario movie.
Yeah.
I remember there was like they're not going to do the Italian accent on him. I'm more upset that he doesn't have the Italian accent than that he does, because I mean, I'm half Italian. I never found that problematic or insulting in any way, shape, or form. If you do find people having an accent and a problem, that's you. That's you looking for something to be mad about.
Right.
Because guess what? People have accents.
Right. And I don't think
sometimes other people they're not going to understand it, or it's going to mangle the English language. We're not saying, oh, you're stupid for having this accent. No. If anything, they're even better because, hey, at least they're bilingual. Who cares if they have an accent?
Right. You understand what they're saying or singing in this.
It wasn't like they hired a bunch of white guys, all tape on their eyes and some sort of skin treatment or makeup.
Yeah, that would be more problematic.
That would be more problematic.
Right.
Like
Absolutely.
Peter Sellers as Fu Manchu or something like that.
Or Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's. That's always the example that jumps out at me.
Yeah, like that is, oh my God, that's ridiculous.
It's funny, this morning on TCM, they were playing Swing Time. And
Which one's that? This
is from the 30s. He's with Ginger Rogers, and there's that dance sequence that he does as Mr. Bojangles in blackface. And
okay, yeah. That's problematic.
Yeah. It's weird to watch that now because I understand why people would get upset about that. And yet this wasn't an issue in 1936. No one said boo about it kind of thing.
Yeah.
But so my question to you is, could that movie be made now?
A Christmas Story? Yeah.
You think so? Okay. I just wonder because sometimes I wonder if people are super sensitive.
Those people are super sensitive and they're super loud and they just want to be angry about something. The hell with those people.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me that I have to ignore the fact that people from foreign countries with an accent trying to speak English, that doesn't exist?
Yeah.
That's not, you can't show that on film because somebody might laugh at it. You're the person being discriminatory here.
Yeah.
You're saying no, get rid of that.
Right. Yeah, I liked seeing that representation. I liked that this author remembered that. I mean, obviously this is from a time before.
Yeah, and plus, it's a period piece in the 40s.
Right. So
it could have been so much worse.
Absolutely.
But it wasn't. It was sweet. It was like these people, they're in the middle of, I keep messing up the state. They're in the middle of Indiana. During Christmas.
Right. Their Christmas has been ruined.
This wasn't a very multicultural neighborhood where you have like other religions present.
No.
This Chinese restaurant would have probably been empty the entire day.
Night.
They get welcomed in. Oh, this was when we were introduced to Chinese turkey.
Yes.
That is a little kid
with a bittersweet memory
not even a bittersweet memory. It's a
memory.
wonderful, memorable moment in their life where they experienced something interesting and new and fun, and everybody was laughing. Even the owner of the restaurant was like, oh my goodness, just sing something else.
Yes.
And then they
butchered
again,
Jingle Bells. I've never read the book, but I never felt like the storyteller or even the filmmaker was trying to belittle the staff at the restaurant or in any way, shape, or form. I think it was just a snapshot of something that happened. Moment. And a memory that this child had of, like you said, being introduced to Chinese turkey.
Yeah. And look, they're being welcomed in Indiana on
of
Christmas.
All places, yes.
Christmas Day. It was sweet.
Yes. And it's interesting because we celebrate Christmas, but the world is big and vast, and not everyone does celebrate Christmas. And I think that's also a nice kind of reminder for people that the world is diverse and it's varied. And and even though these other people don't celebrate Christmas, they were still welcoming and wanting to be part of the community and stuff. I'm going to go around the table and get numbers. I'm going to start with you. 1 to 10. What would you give this film?
I give it an 8.
I would give it an 8.5. Gigi, 1 to 10.
I'd probably give it an 8 too.
An 8.
This movie was cute.
Very cute. Olive G, 1 to 10.
8.
8.5. I think this is definitely a must watch, right?
This is like we said before, one of those Christmas classics that's in the pantheon of Christmas classics.
Yes.
And probably until Elf, it was
one
the
of the newer
most recent ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything in between A Christmas Story and Elf that quite cracks that ceiling.
We should watch that Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie.
To show you how good the Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie is, we don't know what the title of it is.
But maybe that's the newer Christmas classic.
You never know. Maybe it'll warm our hearts. It'll make us cry and make us better men.
And women.
Yeah, we're not men, Dad. We're a woman. We're all women here.
Young ladies.
Woman. Nope. We're all women here.
Paddington 2 makes me a better man.
Really?
Would the first Paddington be considered? Doesn't it take place during Christmas time?
Yes, I believe it does.
Because he's trying to.
And
the second one he's trying to get his
Aunt
Anna
Lucy
birthday present.
Birthday kiss.
Yeah. I think like it is snowing in Paddington 1.
Yeah.
But
I think it is around the holidays. Pretty sure.
It's not marketed though as a Christmas.
It's not marketed as a Christmas film. Yeah. I feel like Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It is the holiday.
Die Hard takes place during Christmas. Nakatomi Plaza.
Nakatomi's holiday party.
Yes. It takes place during Christmas, but I don't really know if it's a Christmas movie.
I disagree.
I don't know. There's no giving or the gift of violence, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say John McClane is giving out whoop asses.
Giving out bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's giving out lead.
Yeah.
I'm a lead farmer.
That's one of the greatest lines in cinema ever. All right, so absolutely. If you have not checked it out, or if you have forgotten, absolutely go down memory lane and revisit 1983's A Christmas Story, currently streaming on HBO Max. I believe their sequel, which is supposed to take place in the 70s.
Yeah, A Christmas Story Christmas is also there.
We
have not seen that.
We have not seen that, but we should probably get that on the list. Mm-hmm. This episode of the podcast is dedicated to our friends and family, immediate, extended, and the family we've created along the way. I want to dedicate this podcast episode to the grandparent, Auntie Jay and Uncle Mike, Uncle George, Uncle Mike and Aunt Erica, Uncle Jay, Uncle Leo, and Kevin, and all the wonderful people that make up our colorful extended family. We love you. We appreciate you. We're so happy that we're on this journey together. Thank you so much for everything that you do for us and for the love and support that you always give us. Shout out to my buddy Jack Martin. Thank you for remembering me and being so generous and kind. Thank you for my new team, for Kate, for Sabina, for Serge, and for David. And thank you again for your generosity. It's so much appreciated. Not necessary, but very, very, very grateful and appreciated. And we wish everyone out there the very merriest of holiday seasons. Whatever you celebrate, may you always be surrounded by everyone and everything that you love. And may health, wealth, happiness come to you and yours in abundance today and every day. All right, and that's it from us. And we will bid you all a
Good night.
Good night.
Shawty's like a melody in my head that I can't get out. Got me